Actor Vijay will return to Karur, the district where the tragic stampede put a pause on his political campaign 2 months ago. Vijay will be holding a rally with newly enforced measures to manage the crowds, and this will be his first rally in Tamil Nadu after the stampede. He did have a rally in neighboring Puducherry a few days ago, but the importance of this Karur rally is not lost on anyone. Politically and emotionally, it's a very important event both for the TVK and the election campaign in Tamil Nadu. Sam Daniel stays with us. Also joining us this evening, senior journalist R.K. Radhakrishnan and political analyst Ramaswamy Meyyappan, who followed Tamil Nadu politics very, very closely. R.K. Radhakrishnan, what's changed for Vijay from the Karur that he had to stop the rallies and his campaign from after the stampede to the Karur rally tomorrow? What would you be looking out for in his speech?
Basically, Sengotain, that's the only change. Sengotain can do a little bit of organizing, and he knows the ground. He's from the nearby Gobi-Chettipalayam in Erode. So he definitely has connections in Karur. So I think the stampede was a result of mismanagement on the part of TVK. TVK has never accepted it. Vijay has never accepted any responsibility. The party has never accepted any responsibility. So the point now is, I mean, I look forward to Vijay saying that it was a mistake, not just on the part of the state government, but then we also have to take some responsibility. But if that is not going to happen, I don't think the people of Karur are going to look at him kindly at all. But yes, the major change is that there is somebody on the ground who knows a little bit of organization, so he'll be able to manage the show better.
Well, you're talking of Sengotain and from the very nuts and bolts point of view of the TVK's organization structure, but largely in terms of its politics, Ramaswamy Meyyappan, is the BJP still baiting Vijay, or has it conceded or concluded that it's going to be a three-way fight? Because there are mixed signals, at least coming from the BJP, though political analysts in Tamil Nadu believe it is impossible for Vijay to share the stage with the Saffron Party.
So, a very good evening to Bharat Mata and to my brothers and sisters across the country. First, I think Vijay's move to going to Karur is very, very belated. 82 days after is not something that's unacceptable at all. When you're in cinema, it's a different scenario. When you're a public person and a political leader who is wanting to be in the office of the chief minister, this is not what's expected out of you. Your statement should have been loud and clear. You should have come to Karur sooner, which he has not done. And with regards to BJP's position as far as Karur and Vijay is concerned, very simple. Vijay is not an element that's welcomed in Karur, but for him to do better and for BJP to be interested in Vijay, he has to become a better leader. And no doors are closed until nomination is closed. So BJP across the country has been a great machine, and I think they will do that in Tamil Nadu as well. They will not close any doors. So they'll keep it open. They'll make it available for Vijay to be available, but Vijay will have to show himself as a better people's leader for him to be part of the grand alliance that the ADMK and the BJP are forging.
Sam Daniel, how do you see this playing out? Because one thing that a lot of observers have told me is that when will Vijay move forward from rhetoric to substance in his political speeches and his political organization? Do you believe that the substance in his political organization and the lessons from the past will be reflected tomorrow in Karur? Is that the sense you're getting?
That's the expectation, Veera Raghav. But when we speak to TVK leaders off camera, they say this is going to be Vijay's style largely, because Tamil Nadu has seen political parties like DMK and AIDMK from the days of Periyar, Annadurai, MGR, Karunanidhi. And the younger generation who are largely following Vijay, they are not into that kind of deep policy-oriented politics, but snappy, quick to understand with a less attention span. And he's largely catering to that kind of a crowd. Of course, over time, they hope that this will also strike a chord with seasoned voters who may look for more specific political and ideological information. But largely, they say his speeches will be very short, crisp, and trying to strike a chord with the younger voters. But over time, will Vijay change?
As you make that point,
recalibrate
I must
to make
mention
it
here that R.K. Radhakrishnan, you've pointed out several occasions that one of the key examples or proof of the power of the Vijay fan following is that amongst the victims and the families of the victims of the Stampede, no one has actually blamed Vijay or spoken out against him. It is purely the DMK that's hit out at Vijay in many ways, if somebody observes this very closely. Do you believe that Vijay is still got that same kind of presence that he had at that time, A, and B, in terms of allies, and that would be the most crucial question before Vijay. If the AIADMK is consolidating the different fragments of it in a sense under EPS, how is Vijay going to play the alliance game? And that would be crucially looked out for. Are there any indicators that you're going to pick up from Karur tomorrow on this?
Yeah, thank you for the questions, Veera. First questions first. Yes, the sheen is wearing off. The point is that, the first speech was great, a lot of punch dialogues and all of that, the ramp walk. The second meeting again in Madurai, ramp walk plus, punch dialogues and all that. But the Pondicherry speech, if you look at it, it's only for 12 minutes and it was a bunch of rhetoric against the DMK, which is not absolutely in par in Pondicherry. ADMK is not a factor in Pondicherry, and then the reluctance to take on the BJP in Pondicherry, and then at the same time saying that Rangasamy, the Chief Minister of Pondicherry, is doing a terrific job and the DMK has to learn from Rangasamy. I mean, completely, it didn't come out the way it is intended at all. As a person who takes on the ruling establishment, that did not work out in Pondicherry at all. That's the first point. The sheen is wearing off. Secondly, of course, the question of allies. Yes, the problem happens to be that nobody wants to leave either an established ADMK BJP alliance or the DMK alliance. That is number one. Number two is that who are the people who are available? That is the TTV Dinakaran's AMMK. There is OPS, the new party that has formed, workers' right. I mean, what is this? ADMK, Cadre Karagam or whatever. Now, the point is that if you take any of these people, it will become, as if you are supporting corruption. TTV Dinakaran has been in jail. OPS has a bunch of cases against him. So that is actually a no-go for, as far as Vijay is concerned. So the only option left for Vijay to be politically relevant is to go it alone. And then, like Chiranjeevi, take 15-16% of the votes and then wait for the next election, not 2029, but 2031. Does he have the staying power? Given the fact that the kind of pressure that he has faced after Karur, Veera, from both DMK, completely out in the open, in your face, and from the ADMK and the BJP, not really, so much in your face from the ADMK, but then from the BJP, huge pushback. So he's cornered from all sides of now. So does he have the staying power? I don't think so. So he needs an ally right now. So that is only the ADMK. Now, ADMK is not going to leave the BJP and come to TVK because of the demands. So that's where we are at this point.
All right, that's where we are at this point. Ramaswamy Meyyappan, very briefly, do you believe that when it comes to seat sharing, both the DMK and the ADMK may be forced to part with more of the seats than they did perhaps in 2021, especially the DMK? And would you believe that that's when the real test of who's going to go with who is going to matter? Do you see allies, perhaps even parties like the Congress, trying to bargain with Vijay as well?
See, absolutely. The DMK is playing a very dangerous game with Tripurankundram in terms of trying to undo something that happened in 1923, went all the way to Privy Council. The anti-incumbency is what's reflected in their action here. And all of the parties in their coalition are going to demand, with anti-incumbency, you're not going to be the strongest one, give us more seats. Both Congress is going to demand, especially VCK is going to demand, with their increased strength. So when that happens, I think Vijay will become a bargaining chip for all of them to seek higher numbers. But similarly, the ADMK is very strongly placed in terms of the vote share, and the BJP being able to bring together a large alliance in terms of the Patali Makkal Katchi, in terms of being able to GK Vasan, Tamil Mandala Congress, and so many other parties. The ADMK will be willing to part with a smaller number, but will be able to withstand the strength. Okay. The only difference Vijay is
even parties alliance. Like PMK, everyone seems to be fishing with Vijay in the waters. But thanks to all three of you for joining us here this evening. Sam Daniel, of course, along with Vasudha Venugopal and Vijay Gopal of NDTV, will be tracking that Karur rally tomorrow very, very closely. Tomorrow morning, 11 to 1, NDTV will be tracking that Karur event and rally very closely. Do stay tuned for that. But for the moment, we'll take a very short break. When we come back, much more on the Southern View.